Okay, so thought I'd just update. It is day 2 and I'm wearing the same jumper, which isn't great. So just submitted the application to Hayes Travel. It ended up being really, it was quite a hard system to use actually, because every time I went forward, it said that I already had an application half done somewhere, which I must have started filling in maybe when I worked for a different company and just logged in using my address, or maybe it's before I was a CIC, definitely, because obviously that was only the other day that we changed Wake Arts to a CIC. So it is now submitted. Gosh, we ended up asking for £9,490, which just was because you have to put in the whole of the budget for the project and then kind of assign certain spend to this funder that you're asking for. There doesn't seem to be a cap, but it said the kind of average grant that's given is about 4,500, but it can go up to 15,000. So well, it didn't say it got up to 15,000. I think somewhere it says that they've also granted 15,000 at some point. So I just assigned them with all of the young people stuff, really. So not like the producer time. Kind of didn't want to draw too much attention to how much I'm going to get paid, because I just feel like that to a funder, they might not want to know that bit. I don't know. Although they should, because this stuff doesn't run unless someone's working blooming hard behind the scenes. So, but I think it's the way that we are, isn't it? Don't like asking for money and don't like, we do a lot of stuff for free in the arts, so it's kind of hard when you're then like, can I have thousands of pounds and that will sustain me for X amount of time. Personally, it's all about charity and what it can do for other people, which is valid, but an interesting angle, when in other industries it's completely different and there's no shame at all about how much money someone makes or spends on luxury things, or like how they live or whatever. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, waffling. So yeah, that's that one submitted. I've put in there, I had to put in there what other funders I was going to. So I put in that I was going to Arts Council, Matthew Good, Leonard Lady Stoke, that's the one I struggled with yesterday, isn't it? Also mentioned crowdfunding somewhere, and I also mentioned that I would adjust the project so that part of it could be delivered, which is all of the young people stuff, and then we'd kind of oh yeah, I still haven't told you what the project is about. I'll tell you that in a second. So yeah, we'll see what they say. I think I'm feeling sort of like the project sounds really good, but I think my governance and like the way my answer to the questions about how I would how my organisation meets its aims and things like that, like I can't be really deep and give loads of information, because at the end of the day I'm still working by myself as the only director, member and guarantor of my company. It doesn't say that you need to have multiple directors or signatories on your bank account, which another trust did. So it doesn't say that, but I'm still kind of aware that that's the case. So when they say, how are you governing your company, and how are you making sure that you're on track and things like that, it's like, well, I don't usually. Like, I do it all in-house, in my head. I'd obviously keep loads of spreadsheets, but I know if I'm not on track, but it's really hard to communicate that. So yeah, so it's done anyway. First one's done. Don't know what time it is. Definitely need to have a cup of tea at some point. My glasses are very dirty as well, look at that. But the project, so we have kind of a flagship project, which is Let's Get Messy, which is an arts interventions project that runs for about a week in schools. In that 1 week, young people would experience an arts like sustained, intense time with an artist, a professional artist delivering mainstream activities. So there's no like, oh, we don't explore mental health in it, and we also don't kind of tailor the sessions because of special educational needs or whatever. It's like, it's not like you don't use the scissors in the room unless there's a risk issue, just because you think someone might not be capable of using scissors or whatever. Like, it's, you trust the young people to be able to behave and deliver art to a high standard, basically. Like, you place that expectation on them by walking into the room with all the equipment that you would need to do the job that you're asking the students to do. So that might be like creating a costume, or painting a mural, or making a book, or whatever it might be. So in that 1 week, they would do workshops. They would learn about an artist, they'd learn about an art form and try different art forms. They would go to see a piece of professional work. So it might be an exhibition, it might be a theatre piece, it might be they read a book, go to cinema, whatever it might be, that's sort of relevant to that group and that school or setting that you're kind of reaching out to at the time. It might be that that piece of work is linked in with what they've been making. So if they've been tasked, or they're learning about graffiti, you then might take them on a trip to Brighton to go and see loads of graffiti. And then we would then like do an arts award during it. So they feedback on what they've learned, and they share one of the skills that they've learned in graffiti, in bookmaking, in costume making, whatever, with each other. And then when they record the sharing of the skill, which allows them to get a qualification. So that's called Let's Get Messy. And then the other project that we delivered, I can't say it's flagship because we've only done it once, but it's probably the biggest project we've delivered. So that's my children coming back. So that one is called Teeny Tales for Growing Minds, and it took place in schools this year. And we had a book published, and we went, young people made their own works as well, and we toured them around schools and to different festivals and things alongside the published book. Well, the idea is to basically commission young people as part of the Let's Get Messy project, where they learn about the production elements needed to make a show, to then make a show based on the book that will then tour around primary schools and festivals and things. So that's the plan in a nutshell. And I'm going to go before a dog and some squealing children arrive. I can see that grandparents have brought the dog with them as well. So yeah, anyway, thank you for listening. Any questions, let me know. But I'll let you know how the funding applications go.